All right. The first two parts of Chapter 9 are about markup and markdown. Pretty easy concept to kind of wrap your head around if you kind of picture yourself as the person in business, buying shoes and selling them in retail or T-shirts, whatever it might be. But you buy a lot of something and you mark it up a certain percentage and then you sell it for a profit. And that's where this equation comes in. This equation here, C plus M equals S. This is your cost plus your markup equals your sale price. Let's take, for example, and to back up a sec, that's why I made this grid, was to easily find out what we are looking for and what we know. And based on those numbers, we can do our calculations and fill in the blanks. So let's just start with number 1 on page 305, the stop and check. We want to find the percent markup, this number here, for a table that costs $220 and sells for $599. And we need to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. What we can do, first of all, is find the difference here, because we know C plus M equals S. So S minus C is going to equal M. So we have 599 minus 220, and that gives us 379. Now, because it's based on cost and not on the selling price, this number here, we know that the cost is 100%. The markup is addition to that, and then so that the sale price equals the cost percent and then the markup percent. So since we have these numbers figured out, we can find the ratios that are associated with them. If we look at the sale price, $599, that's going to be how many percent of your original cost. So 599 divided by 220 is 272% of the original cost. That means that 379 divided by 220 is going to be 172.2%. So you see that 100% plus 172% is 272%, and then the math works out here too. I kind of took the long way around here on this one just to show you kind of how to fill in the blanks. Hold on a sec, and I'll get another problem for us. We're going to do another one that's very similar to the one we just did. We're going to do number 3 on page 305 in the stop and check. A bicycle costs $245 and sells for $395. Find the percent of markup, we're looking for this here, based on cost. And that's going to be our 100% there. We're going to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. Because we know this is the cost base, the 100% is here. So 100% is 245. We can find the difference of 395 and 245 to find our actual markup. $150, and 150 divided by 245 is going to give us our percent markup, which is 61.2% markup. That means that 395, I'm just going beyond here, 395 is 161.2% of the original price. And just to double check that, we can do our multiplication. 245 times 161.2%. Should be 394. Yep, 395. Let me find another one for us to look at, and then we'll change it up a little bit. Let's look at number 8. Holly's Leather Shop pays $87.50. Here we go. $87.50 for Coach bags and sells them at a 95% markup based on cost. And that's important. What is the selling price? We're looking for the selling price of the bag rounded to the nearest cent. Well, we know that because it's cost-based, this is 100%. And we could do the math here. 100 plus 95% is a whopping 195%. That helps us a lot because we can take the original price, and if it asked us, we could, find the markup amount here by multiplying 87.5 times 0.95 or 95% and come up with 83.125. But we're going to take the shortcut. We're going to multiply our cost times our sales price, which is 195% of the cost. So 87.5 times 195% is 170.63. Let me find something a little different we could work with. Hold on a sec. Okay, let's take a look at a couple problems on page 313. The first problem on 313, a textbook costs $58 and sells for $70. Find the rate of markup based on the selling price. So instead of it being based on the cost, it's based on the selling price. So the selling price is the 100% here. We can find the difference here between 58 and 70 and find the markup amount, and that would just be 12. Yeah, we can figure that one out. So here we can see our ratios. 58 and 12, 70. So if we just find out the percents of each one, the value percentage of 70 of each one, we can fill in these two blanks here. So 58 divided by 70 is 82, I'm sorry, let's just make that percent, 82.8%. We could subtract the two, or we could multiply or divide that is what we are looking for anyway, and that is 17.1%. Let me get another one and try to explain it a little more clearly. I think I went a little bit around a bit on that one. All right, another similar problem. Number 3 on 313. Hales Traders purchases 16-foot trailers for $395 and sells them for $795. What is the rate of markup based on the selling price? Again, same method to figure this one out. 795 minus 395 is 400. Now, because it's based on the selling price, we know that that is 100%. And then we need to use these two numbers to find the ratio of 795. So 400 divided by 795 is 50.3%. And there's your answer. We can double check that. 395 divided by, now it's getting messy. 395 divided by 795 should be 49.6%. Okay, let's find one with a little different arrangement. Number 10 on page 312. Wolf Camera marks up a camera 25% of the selling price. So let's make sure we have that noted. If the markup is $145, what is the cost and the selling price of the camera? Well, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out because we know that because it's based on the selling price, this percentage is 100. That means the cost is the difference of these two being 75%. So that means that this number plus this number equals 100%. Because 145 divided by 0.25, at 145 divided by 0.25 is $580. We know this equation because of right that if we rearrange this, we get portion over rate equals the base, and the base is 100%. So we can do the difference here. 580 minus 145. Hope that falls into place. Yep. 435. Let's do one more like this. We'll do number 14 on 313. Best Buy buys a digital camera for $187 and marks it up 33%. I'm sorry, that's 38%. Marks it up 38%. And that's based on the selling price. It would be really easy if it was based on the cost, but it's not. So we have to do a little backwards math, and that's okay. That says find the selling price and the markup for the camera. Well, because we know it's based on the selling price, that's 100%. And 100 minus 38 is going to give us 62%. Now that we have that, we can find the portion of the selling price, and 187 divided by 0.62 will give us 291.93. And again, remember from many chapters back that that's why we're dividing here, because the the portion over rate equals the base. All right, and the base, of course, is this down here. Let me get my eraser. Okay, let's move on to section 3.2. All right, let's go to page 314. Number 24. A Canon copier is marked up 38% of the selling price. It costs $3,034.90. $3,034.90. Find the selling price and markup of the copier. We're going to find the selling price and the markup of the copier. Well, the first thing that we know, because it's based on the selling price, that's 100%. 100 minus 38 is 100 minus 38 is 62. That's 62%. And now that we have those two, this ratio here, we can find our sale price. So it is $3,034.90 divided by 0.62. It didn't work out because I put a dot in it. Let me try that one again. 3,034.90 divided by 62%, and we get $4,895. We can find what the markup was by finding the difference. 4,895 minus 3,034.90. Come on. Didn't work out. Hold on. $90. It is $1,860.10. All right, moving on. All right, on page 317, number 6, find the selling price. And the markup for an item that costs $792 and is marked up 42% of the selling price. Okay. Well, now that we know it's the selling price, the selling percent is 100. We can find the difference there and get 68, 58. And then we can find the relationship of those two numbers to give us the sale price. 792 divided by 0.58 will give us 1,365.52. And then we could find the difference there to find the actual markup. $1,365.52 minus $792 is $1,357.60.